Well, movie, my story is about overcoming disability, and in this case, cerebral palsy, a condition that is quite associated with the brain and that which affects movement. But then what's quite striking about this story is that you'll find out the very guy that I focused this story on has that condition ever since 3 months after he was born, but he's been able to overcome that and to do something that you wouldn't expect people with cerebral palsy to do. He's a DJ, a very good DJ in this case. However, he uses his feet to do his thing, but it's quite an amazing thing, and we can take a look at that story.
All right. Now, cerebral palsy is a disease that affects movement, muscle tone, or posture caused by damage that occurs to the brain as it develops, most often before birth. But for a Kenyan DJ living with cerebral palsy, the condition has not daunted his pursuit to be an entertainer, and our reporter David Mudhoka met 26-year-old Joseph Kamau, also known as DJ Skylar, at his toll station home in Kiambu County and filed this story.
We meet 26-years-old Joseph Kamau at his home at toll station along the Thika Superhighway in Kiambu County. Also known as DJ Skylar, we find Kamau busy on his tools of trade, preparing yet another mixtape. But you will notice that unlike most DJs who use their hands to operate this DJ turntable, Kamau is using his feet. And as one melody paves way to another, courtesy of his magical feet, Kamau tells us the reason behind the use of his feet. The DJ has endured cerebral palsy 3 months after he was born to date, the condition marking a turbulent childhood for him. You will sit here all day listening to scintillating music served to you literally from the feet of 26-year-old Joseph Kamau. Already full grown and a DJ striving to make ends meet alongside other DJs, Skylar narrates to us how his love for the decks sprouted.
DJ nilikuwa nasikiza mix ya DJ Kalon sana. Sasa kwa hiyo kusikiza nikaona na mimi pesa inaweza kuwa kama huyo DJ.
His burning desire for music has made him one of Kenya's budding disc jockeys, having already showcased his prowess at various gigs, among them weddings, graduation ceremonies, and church events. The sky is just but the limit.
Gigs nimepata kidogo kwa church, kwa wedding, graduations.
Umeingia gospel.
Utaondoa? Akana zedi siongoi.
The DJ, who was once a protege of another of Kenya's breakthrough DJs, DJ Son, remains grateful to his mentor.
DJ Platinum Loyal near DJ Son of Nation.
And today, yours truly became the protege's protege. Unaweza rudisha muziki nyuma, unaweza leta hiyo scratch effect. Na hii upande hii. Friends and family have described Skylar as cheerful and a go-getter. Despite going through thick and thin together, DJ Skylar's cousin Yvonne Waithaka tells us her side of her story regarding the bubbly DJ. She looks back at the time her cousin's career first took off. She says amid the tides, the family has stood by their golden boy, telling us how Skylar's mother, currently out of the country, stood by his dream and even bought for him this set of DJing decks, a laptop, and a flat screen TV in a bid to kickstart his career.
Then alikuwa na laptop, akaeka virtual DJ. Sasa ndo akajifunza ku DJ na hiyo. So alikuwa tu ana mix na hiyo virtual DJ. So after maliza shule, akaambia mathake like mimi nataka kwenda shule nisomee, but yeye alikuwa ashajua kila kitu. So like ni kama tu certificate alikuwa anaendea ya kuonyesha like ashaenda shule. So after ameenda shule ndo akaitisha turntable, akabaiwa juu laptop alikuwa ni already, akabaiwa vitu polepole zenye alikuwa anataka.
DJ Skylar now aspires to grow his brand, widen his market, and have a seat at the table among Kenya's finest DJs. To him, his abilities are stronger than his disabilities. David Muthoka, TV47.
An amazing story right there by David Muthoka. Really, Muthoka and Zainab, it really just goes to show that you can do anything you put your mind to. Muthoka.
You know, Mumbi, for you to be a DJ, you literally need to have what I'll call hands-on experience. But in this case, he has fits-on experience, you know, spinning the decks and doing his thing. Quite amazing. And you know, what other thing that stands out in this story is that how supportive the family has been. The mother was able to acquire DJ Skylar a pair of decks, a TV set, a laptop, just, you know, to make sure that his boy pursues his dreams to the fullest.
Quite amazing. Zainab, what do you think of Muthoka's story?
I must say that it is quite inspiring. I think we saw a similar story by Mwangi back a few weeks ago, where Mwangi did a story of someone who had also cerebral palsy, but then he was making ads, so, and beads, if I remember properly. So I mean, it's beautiful. It's a nice story, and I also think that this is just clearly showing that disability is not inability.
Very, very awesome. And just, you know, another point, Muthoka, you mentioned, you know, what cerebral palsy is. So I can only imagine how much coordination he needs to be able to, you know, mix or DJ using his feet, because it affects the brain, the muscles, the movement. So it's just really also a challenge to people who have all the organs but just laying around, sitting down and just doing nothing. So I can only imagine how challenging it was for DJ Skylar.
Sure thing, Mumbi, but I must give him credit. He's quite flexible, you know, and the grin in his face and the smile, you know, when he ushers one song and to another, quite fascinating. And Mumbi, you know, another thing is that yes, Zainab.
I mean, you can imagine that a lot of us couldn't do that even with our hands, and he's doing it with his legs. Wow, yes. I mean, it blew my mind.
Just before we can conclude on this story, we often see even other families, whenever they have somebody with disability, they parade them in towns, you know, to raise some charity. But, you know, we can get inspired from this story, and even other families can get challenged, you know, by what Skylar's family has done for him.
Indeed, and also families need to support their kids, you know, whatever goals they have, just support them. Really, really amazing story there by David Muthoka.